Hello, and welcome to Flyin18T Motorsports Current News, March 3rd edition. And this is obviously YouTube Live. So, first time doing a YouTube Live, I've been doing it on Periscope. However, I've been unable to see live comments during the Periscope broadcast. So, I'm going to change platforms or attempt to. So we're going to take a look at YouTube Live, and let's see what we got going on here. And I'm also going to tweet this out to the to Twitter. Bear with me as I get this all set. But okay, all right. So we look like we're live. I am going to tweet this out. And let's put out to join me. Oh boy. This is a first for everybody, and I know I might have to edit the beginning of this when I upload it as a regular video here, but let's see if we can get this going on YouTube now, and then we'll get into some news. Boom. And let's see what happens. All right, so welcome again. And you know, if for those of you that have been following the Flyin18T Twitter stream on a regular basis, I'm sure you're starting to see a pattern with the coronavirus affecting car shows, affecting MXGP, affecting World Superbike. It's a little, obviously it's a little scary, but I think for those of you that have done the research and read up on it, it's still scary, but they're starting to figure out patterns in who is contracting the virus. And obviously, I don't want to be speaking about this too long. However, it does seem to be targeting people a little bit more, senior citizens, people with compromised immune systems. It's people who are smart and know how to like go through their day, wash their hands, avoid certain situations, and you could be in a much better position than people who are not. So I don't want to pretend like I'm an expert on it. I'm not. But the percentages of people who are contracting it that are above 50, even there was a significant portion of people in China that were contracting it above the age of 70. Significant. Like they took measurements of people, like thousands of people who were infected, and like over 50% of them were over the age of 70. So, and then there was another 25% of them that were over the age of 50. So it seems to not be targeting young kids, but older people who have compromised immune systems. So I think then you get some of those people that have it and that are silent carriers. So you're starting to see, and one of the articles that we're going to go over in a minute is about how travel is affected, obviously, and the fear of contracting it in mass transit, such as boats, planes, and so on. Anyway, I don't want to ramble on about that too much. So let's get into some of the news that we have here. And once again, because we are live, feel free to say hi. Let me know that this system is working. Usually on Periscope, I could see people walking in to the stream. A lot of people walking into the stream, but would never see the comments. Never. So I have a feeling with YouTube Live, it's going to be a little bit different, where fewer people are going to be walking in, but I will see those fewer comments. So uh, we're playing it. We're going through this together. All right. I'm going to shut up. Let's go on to the news. Boom. All right. So as we scroll through the news of the day, let's take a look. You know what? Let's just get right into the first article that I have marked, which is and this is courtesy of topspeed.com. This is Bentley's world famous coach builder ups the exclusivity ante with jaw dropping Speedster. So, for those of you that have not heard about this or seen this, this is the Bentley Mulliner Bacalar. Okay, and we're going to get into some pictures of it in a second, but I just want to go through some minor details. Not minor, some pretty big details. The British automaker took to the interwebs to introduce the Mulliner Bacalar, a $2 million open-top sports car that was named after a lake in Mexico's Yucatan Peninsula. Features paint made using rice husk ash and interior trim that includes wood accents taken from trees that fell way before Jesus was born. They're not joking. Some of these trees that contributed to the interior is, I think they said 5,000 years old. I don't know why they would even want to advertise the fact that they're using material that rare, natural material that's rare. But as we take a look at it and get into it a little bit, the Bacalar is more than just its stunning looks. It's also powered by a 6-liter twin-turbo W12 engine that produces a pulse-pounding 650 horsepower and 667 pound-feet of torque. It's got a really nice butt. I'll just say it. It's really nice. An 8-speed dual-clutch automatic transmission channels all that power to all 4 wheels. 22-inch wheels. And it accelerates from 0 to 62 in just 3.5 seconds before peaking at a top speed of 200 miles per hour. Only 12 units will be made, with each model priced at a whopping American dollars, US dollars, $2 million is where it starts. All 12 units are already spoken for. Crazy. Let's see here. You know what? I'm going to shoot out another tweet. There we go. Shoot that out. See if we can get at least one person in here to say hi on my first YouTube live broadcast. That'd be nice. All right. Let's get into some pictures, because this thing is wicked. All right. I don't know about you, but I just absolutely love this car. This is... The front is really nice. I'm not sure I'm in love with that diagonal piece right underneath the front headlight, because it looks like they went with like a racing inspired front wing support design, but then the rest of the car doesn't really display anything like that diagonal piece. But the rest of the car, if you get into the rest of the design, let's flip ahead. That is just beautiful. I like that a lot. Gorgeous. Yeah, I would buy a couple of these. It says the 5,000-year-old wood found on the doors and dashboard is called riverwood. Like I said, I don't know if they want to be promoting that they're cutting into 5,000-year-old trees. That is beautiful interior. Really beautiful car. Really, really nice. They did a really nice job with it. Good for them. Excellent. Let's move on to the next article for today. And we're going to get into, and this is courtesy of ESPN.com. F1 chief insists no race if any team is denied entry due to coronavirus. Okay, now we want to be a little bit specific about this. And Ross Brawn is a smart dude. And, you know, I think this is an extremely fair approach to coronavirus and how it's going to be affecting Formula One in the very near future. So I think, and the first two paragraphs here really put everything into perspective as far as what they're dealing with. Italy, home to the sport's oldest, most glamorous, and most successful team, Ferrari, is one of the countries most affected by the epidemic, with more than 50 deaths and over 2,000 confirmed cases. Now, here's where it gets sticky. Some countries, including Vietnam, which hosts its first ever Grand Prix on April 5th, have imposed quarantine periods on anyone who has come from or been in Italy during a 2-week period prior to entry. So, what does that mean? That means that has raised concern about Ferrari's ability to participate. Ross Brawn goes on to say, if a team is prevented from entering a country, we can't have a race. Not a Formula One World Championship race anyway, because that would be unfair. And to clarify, he goes on to say, quote, obviously, if a team makes its own choice not to go to a race, that's their decision. But where a team is prevented from going to a race because of a decision of the country, then it's difficult to have a fair competition. Hence, the entire race would be canceled. Now, the article does go on to say that Brawn is negotiating with Vietnamese health authorities. I don't know where that's going to get them. They want the race to happen, and it does bring in revenue to the country. But it's, you know, obviously the country's under a lot of tension. It wouldn't be very good publicity for those health officials and even political officials if something were to happen afterwards. I mean, it's a very sticky situation, very tricky, and obviously very dangerous situation for a lot of people, health-wise. So, yeah, I mean, it's just article after article about it. But that's the position of Ross Brawn. I agree with him. It's unfortunate. I mean, a lot of us want to see nothing more than some Formula races start off the season. So, sad. Okay. On a more positive note, let's get into some another cool car that is being pushed through the press. And we get into, this is courtesy of GTspirit.com. This is the Bugatti Chiron Pure Sport. This thing is sick. This car has a $3.35 million price tag and will be limited to only 60 examples. Now, we'll get into some pictures of this also as I just glanced through here, but let's go through the article a little bit. The chassis modifications. Now, this car, before we get into chassis modifications, this car was designed a little bit different than the Super Sport 300. The Super Sport was designed for top speed, just to max out, right? The Chiron Pure Sport was designed more as a, dare I say, track car. I think it's going to be rare that you're going to see many of these whipping around, but that was the mindset going into this. And they go on to explain how the rear wing is fixed. And in having that fixed wing, you have, excuse me, you have some weight loss. Let me see. We'll get into more details here. The chassis modifications include a 65% firmer springs at the front and 33% firmer springs at the rear, and adaptive damping control strategy geared towards performance as well as modified camber values. Bugatti add carbon fiber stabilizers at the front and rear, which resulted in 19 kilograms of weight loss, which is unbelievable. The 8-liter W16 engine still kicks out a massive 1,500 horsepower and 1,600 newton meters of torque. Due to the higher levels of downforce, the Pure Sport tops out at 350 kilometers an hour. But one sick stat here is that the Chiron Pure Sport accelerates from 60 to 120 kilometers an hour, almost 2 seconds faster than quote unquote standard Chiron, as if any Chiron is standard. Wow. Let's take a quick look at this. Another gorgeous, gorgeous car. That is a front end I can dig. Beautiful. Wow. Very nice interior. I love the stitching. I love the color combo. Carbon fiber in all the right places. The Alcantara steering wheel and fabric throughout. Beautiful. That center console where it's got the carbon fiber with the blue highlight. Crazy. Wow. The way they did that center console there is stunning. That is absolutely beautiful. Wow. Sick car. Imagine seeing that at a track day. Someone shows up with a Chiron Pure Sport. They're like, oh yeah, this is my track car now. Gorgeous. Wow. The weave in that carbon fiber. That is unreal. Everywhere. The whole roof, rear deck, the spoiler, the rear diffuser, well, the aero, active aero, unbelievable. Beautiful. Wow. Excellent. Okay. So that brings us back to square one. That's going to be a wrap. I think for our first YouTube Live, I think, well, it seems everything worked except for knowing whether or not someone came in. So, let me check here. And, yeah. All right. Everything seems to be working. Just no one came in. So, we'll see how things go unless I can figure something out with Periscope. But I'd like to think that this is something that people can participate in a little bit easier. But thank you very much for joining me tonight. And hopefully I'll have another new segment out probably Thursday. Today's Tuesday. So 48 hours from now. All right. Thank you again. Hope everyone has a good evening.